So you can listen to this practice wherever you find yourself today. You can be sitting down or laying down or even stretching and doing things if that's what you got to do. And hopefully wherever you're at when you listen will still be helpful to you in some way. And so if you'd like to listen to this practice in a still position, you can just feel free to take all the time you need to arrive there. You can let yourself fidget, adjust, stretch, do anything you need to do to just get into a comfortable place in your body where you feel like you can remain in that relatively still position for this practice. Maybe some cat-cows with the spine feel good. Maybe some neck rolls, side body bends, or torso twists. Just doing your best to let your body move you. So you're not thinking about the movements or what it looks like or even what it feels like, but just letting your body move in the ways that it feels called to move in. And if what your body is calling for right now is stillness, then honoring that stillness. And there is zero rush whatsoever. You can continue to move throughout this practice whenever you feel the need to adjust. If you're feeling ready to come to that still position, if that's how you'd like to listen today, then you may do so if you haven't already. And you can mark your arrival into your practice today, into your body today, with a full and intentional cleansing breath. As you take a long, slow inhale in through the nose, letting yourself fill up fully, holding that for just a moment at the top to really feel that fullness as you slowly let it go. Exhaling bit by bit, pushing that final bit of air out of you, and then pause once again to feel that emptiness. And letting your next breath come to you as it's needed. You can breathe just like that for a few more rounds, for as long as it feels good. Just exaggerating the 4 parts of your breath. The inhale, the pause at the top of the inhale, followed by the exhale, and the pause at the bottom of the exhale. And if it feels good, if you haven't already, you can let the eyes gently close. And just really turn your attention into yourself, into your own body. And sometimes the breath can be the most powerful tool to help us get there. By bringing awareness to this process that usually happens completely automatically without any of your doing. And just bringing awareness into that process. Consciously slowing down the rhythm of your body, the rhythm of your breath. You can continue to breathe just like that for as long as it feels good and helpful. At any point, if you haven't already, you can just release this guidance over your breath altogether and let the breath become automatic once again. Noticing any slight shifts in the breath. And seeing if you can just simply observe the fact that your body is breathing, rather than having any direct influence over your breath. But looking at your body and its bodily functions just as any other force of nature out there. Taking on that same point of view, that same energy you might have when you're laying on the beach and just watching the waves roll in and out. That state of witnessing or observing. You're not trying to control the rhythm of the waves, but you're just simply watching. Noticing anything that you feel, anything that comes up within you in your body or your mind. And as we are starting to just slow down our body and mind in these processes, we might notice that the mind could ramp up a little bit. Maybe the conversations in your head are getting a little louder or faster. Maybe there are regrets popping up or reminders. Maybe some things on your to-do list, maybe trying to multitask as you do this practice. And just reminding yourself that if any of that is happening for you, that is simply another part of this practice. And this doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you or that you're doing anything wrong. Each and every time we show up for this practice, we will find something different. We will have different abilities, I guess, or we will be able to drop into that quiet space a little simpler, a little with more ease maybe. And other times it can feel really, really difficult. And these aren't reflections of what you've done or how you are as a person, but it just simply means that you are human. And the human mind will change, just as everything else in this world. Some days we might show up and the mind can be loud. And other days we show up and the mind could be relatively quiet and peaceful. And all the places in between those two extremes. So just taking this moment to soften your body into wherever you are right now. And just remind yourself that this practice is one of listening. And I believe the ideal approach to any healing practice is one of slow curiosity. A gentle curiosity, maybe. So not having any harsh expectations for yourself or what you think you should feel or think you should see or learn. Just becoming curious of what you are feeling, of what you are seeing, what you are learning. And just making note of how you are doing in this moment. Knowing that it will be different moment to moment. And if we find ourselves getting wrapped up in the mind and what it's saying to us, sometimes it can be a lot simpler to bring our attention to the physical, into the body. And if we have a maybe intrusive or repeating thought in the mind, it's oftentimes linked to an area of maybe fidgeting or tension in the body. And it can be a lot simpler to tell our muscles to soften rather than tell our mind to stop thinking of something specific, which won't work. So you can just let your attention now come into your face. And just notice, remember all of the muscles that exist in the face, that create all the expressions that you have on a daily basis. And almost feel like these muscles are just hanging off of the bone slightly. remembering the support of your skin. And just knowing that it is safe for your muscles to let go, to release. For your jaw to be heavy, for your chin to soften, the nostrils, the corners of the mouth. The cheeks and the eyelids, the upper jaw and the ears, and the eyebrows and the forehead. You can feel a sense of release across the hairline and the scalp. Maybe even in the brain itself. Just envisioning releasing your brain into the support of your skull. Just feeling a sense of trust with your own body. Reminding yourself that everything will be held right where it needs to be without any of your doing, just like it does throughout all your nights of sleep. You can let your shoulders soften down away from the ears. Let the arms be heavy, the hands be soft. And just feel a sense of broadness or expansion across your collarbones. So that you let your heart sit in this proud position toward the front of the body. As you just let yourself soften into this proud posture. Feeling a slight tuck in the chin to just let the back of your neck get nice and long as the crown of your head reaches up taller. Now just letting your rib cage soften down on the lungs. Maybe even feeling a slight hugging sensation of your rib cage against the lungs with each breath that your body takes in. Softening all the muscles across the abdomen, the lower back. As you release any holding in the pelvic floor, any holding in the glutes. And just reminding yourself of the safety you have just with the earth beneath you, with the surface that is supporting you right now, and the force of gravity that is holding you to that surface. Softening all the muscles down the legs and in the feet. And as your body exhales, just feeling this overall first wave of softness, of acceptance, of release. Just reminding yourself that regardless of what is going on in your life, in your body, in your mind right now, it is safe for you to soften into this moment. And you can let some attention come into your heart. And just feel any sensations, any emotions maybe that are resting in the heart right now. And as you are letting yourself just soften into you, into your own body, there might be some emotional releases that want to come. Maybe there's some areas of pain or sorrow that are begging to be released. And knowing that those things are a part of this practice too. This practice is about feeling what is for you and allowing those things to come out of you in whatever way they need to come out when they need to. And so just letting yourself cry or laugh or have any emotional release when it feels the urge to come. Maybe later today or tonight. And sometimes if we're in a stage where there's a lot of emotions, maybe we're crying pretty regularly, we can feel like stuffing those feelings down or trying to distract ourselves from those more painful feelings is what's needed. Maybe as a sort of protection for us, which is totally natural and totally normal. But actually, the way I envision that is when there's thoughts or intense feelings bubbling up from within us and we just try to shove them down deeper, they just echo more within us and control us more insidiously in our initial reactions to things. So even though it can be scary to open the floodgates maybe, or to let those things come up and out of us, that is the way we release them and move on from them. We move on to the next things that need to come out. And this cycle of feeling emotions, releasing them, is not something we are meant to escape. This is part of the human experience. And we will all go through phases of life where we need all the comfort things, where we need to be releasing, I guess, more and more pain and hurt within us. And we will also go through stages where we feel light and joyful and we need to laugh and dance and sing and just have fun. And these stages will last for varying lengths. But being in one stage does not mean that you are incapable or just not able to be in the other. Just because you allow yourself to feel the darker things in life, the more painful parts of this existence, that does not negate your ability to feel the joy and love that life has to offer all of us. In fact, I think of it as what we feel is actually the contrast between the two. So the more you allow yourself to feel whatever it is you are feeling, the more fully you will feel the great things too. And sometimes the most painful layer of our suffering can be those voices saying that we should be feeling better, or we should be grateful, or I don't know why I'm feeling so down. I should be feeling good. Simple as that. So just knowing that those voices are also just a part of all of this. But you can do your best to use those should thoughts as a cue, as an internal cue for you to examine a little deeper. And if you are feeling depressed or down or anxious, and the main voice is, well, I should be grateful, or should be anything different, then you can use that as a cue for you to remind yourself that whatever you are feeling is what you should be feeling, even when those feelings you might call negative or bad. The only way out of feelings is through the feelings. And so just being so kind and patient with yourself as you are feeling the hard parts of life, and supporting yourself in whatever ways you need. Reaching out to loved ones who make you feel seen and heard and supported. Hugging your animals, or just hiding under the covers, watching your favorite TV show or movie, playing your favorite video game. Whatever it is that makes you feel somewhat supported through the more difficult times of your life. Feeling free to indulge in those things as needed. And just trusting that inner voice that you have, that instinct you might have of when it's time to move on, when it's time to get back out in the world and to dance, laugh, love once again. We are always in a stage of healing, just at differing stages throughout our life, and in different areas of our life. Sometimes we can really be hurting in our love life, maybe, and really be thriving in our work life. Sometimes our family life can be going really well, while simultaneously our work life could be really suffering. And just reminding yourself of all the different aspects of you and this life that you have, and feeling free to lean more heavily on the things that feel fueling and comforting to you when you need it. And our emotional healing can act just like our physical healing. And if you just imagine what it's like when you get a small paper cut, and how over time, without any of your doing, that cut will heal, the skin will mend together. And also, there are things you can do to aid that process, to be more involved in the healing process by ointments and band-aids. And any healing practice can act as maybe a healing ointment for you emotionally. And just makes you more active in this process. Maybe speeding the process along slightly. But regardless, with time, we will heal. And a really great reminder, two great reminders for just accepting the stage of life that we're in, can be the moon is the first one. And the moon can represent your body, your physical body. It does not have a light of its own. Your body is just matter, and it reflects the light of your soul, that inner spark within you. Just like the moon is just matter, but it reflects the light of soul, or of the sun. And sometimes the moon is fully illuminated by soul, and it is a full moon, and it's shining light for others in the darkness. And other times the moon is a new moon, and it is not reflecting any light, it is in the shadows, sort of hibernating. And we are the same way. And we are not meant to have a full moon all of the time. The moon will always move through these phases just as you will. Sometimes you are full and feel connected to yourself and to life, and feel capable of shining light for others in the darkness. And other times you will feel like you are in the dark itself and feel very disconnected and in a state of hibernation maybe. And no matter what phase you are in, whether the new moon or the full moon or any of the phases in between. Just allowing yourself to be there and trusting that the next phase will come. Since the only thing we can all count on in this life is change. And we will always move on to the next phase, even when it feels like we're going to be here forever. And then another helpful analogy for just letting yourself feel what is just storms. And it's the quote that every storm runs out of rain. And sometimes it feels like analyzing why you're feeling bad or why you feel disconnected or just all the why questions you might have, questioning yourself and your life and your actions. Sometimes what that can be like is just like running alongside a storm and looking up at the rain, looking up at the clouds, saying, why is it here? Why is it here? And therefore keeping you in the storm a little longer. The storm is trying to pass over you and you're just running alongside it, trying to analyze it. And what allowing yourself to feel whatever stage you're in can look like is just instead having a seat in the rain, feeling the rain wash over your body and trusting that every storm runs out of rain and this storm will pass. And it is safe, it is okay for you to feel the storm. You are strong and you are capable of doing hard things. Just the simple fact that you are alive in this body right now means you've been through some stuff. And you are strong. You've made it to this point. And you are capable of making it wherever you want to go. And just letting yourself feel whatever is here for you right now. Feel the rain if you're in the middle of a storm, and feel the heat of the sun if you are in a nice sunny day, emotionally speaking. Letting yourself fully feel all the good things, soak it in, because it won't last forever. So using that knowledge as just permission for you to indulge and feel all the good things you can feel while you can feel them. And also using that same fact as permission for you to fully feel the bad things. Knowing that it will also change. It will be over at some point. And you are capable. You are strong. And you are always healing some aspect of you. Maybe physical health could be declining, and simultaneously your emotional, spiritual health could be thriving. These things don't have to be connected. Just allowing yourself to be whatever it is that you are. Because there is nobody else out there exactly like you. And what you are feeling, what you are going through, what you are thinking and doing is special. It is unique. Your perception is unique. And you do have something special to offer this world. And the proof of that is just in your own existence. The fact that you are here means that you are worthy of being here, and you have something you need to do here. So just getting out of your own way as much as possible so that you can do what you're meant to do, whatever that is, whatever area of the world you exist in. And so you can just turn some attention back to your physical body, if it's left, and just once again remind these muscles to soften. Remind yourself that it is safe for you to let go. And bring attention back to your heartbeat. And just remind yourself of this pure gift that is constantly pumping life into you every moment of every day. And how this heart is your direct connection, direct line to whatever source allows all of our hearts to beat. And if that is love, then you have a direct connection to all the love, just through your own body, through your own heart. And so there's no need for you to go out and earn any more love from people. But instead, what we can do is go out and share the love that we already have. And noticing how that will naturally expand around us and within us. Will naturally awaken that same truth in all the people we come into contact with. And this is how we can heal the areas of our life that we exist in. By sitting so firmly and acting firmly in our love, in that truth, whenever we feel it, and sharing that. Just by simply being you. And maybe feeling the sense of a heartbeat in both of your hands. So you just remind yourself that these hands are directly connected to your heart. And these hands have the power to heal and to create through the love that's in your heart. And if it feels like something you'd like to do today, you can just let the pulse of your palms be drawn toward each other, letting the fingers make contact with one another. As you feel the thumbs press back toward your heart, and let your heart lift back toward your thumbs. And just feeling deeply this power that you have generated through you. And just letting yourself take one final deep and full breath into the body, filling up to every corner and edge of you. And as you exhale, letting go of anything you're ready to let go of, as you let your head gently bow. And just taking this moment to bow to the source of energy that allows all of our hearts to beat, whatever you believe that to be. Bowing to everyone else in this space who has listened and completed this practice right alongside you. And finally, bowing to yourself for choosing to show up today and taking the time out of your busy life for this pure act of self-love and self-care. May this act continue to heal you through the rest of your days and nights. And may you bring the same love and understanding to everything you do and to everyone that you see. Thank you.